A pleasant day to everyone. I'm Mr. Starkad Elsabiao from J.H. Early State College, Matisan Miguel, Zamboanga del Sur. My study is on self-regulated learning skills, grit, and expectancy value of STEM learners, a structural model on mathematics performance. The Philippine Academy should look into the quality of mathematics and science education because several reports have shown that there is a deteriorating graduates in STEM. And according to Chen and Soldner 2013, the attrition rates in STEM, disparities in performances, and other interrelated issues are attributable to personal attitudes rather than aptitudes. That is why I was very interested in working with some pro-social skills that might affect the performances of the students in mathematics, like their values and expectations towards STEM, the lifelong perseverance for long-term goals, or the so-called grit, and their ability to self-regulate. This study primarily anchors on the expectancy value theory of Atkinson 1957, which claims that the self-expectancies and valuing of the task directly affects the student's choice of the task, persistence, and performance of the task. The social cognitive theory of regulation serves as the mirror of the student's metacognitive traits, behavior, and strategies implemented by the students to maximize the success of the learning task. The control value theory and the self-determination theory serve as the mirror in operationalizing also the students' attitude in working strenuously towards challenges, maintaining effort and interest over years despite failure, adversity, and tattoos in progress. With those theories being anchored on, the main variables are being operationalized: the expectancy values towards STEM, the self-regulated learning skills, and the grit. And since there is limited evidences of the concurrent effects of these three variables as antecedent variables of the mathematics performance, it is the intention of this study to investigate and explore on the structural equation implications of these variables. Here are the objectives of the study. The first section is to report the descriptive levels of the main variables of the study. Second section is to investigate the significant relationships and the predictive accounts among the antecedent variables and towards mathematics itself. The next section is to analyze the factor structure of the study's theoretical constructs, at the same time validating the instrument. This is the so-called measurement evaluation. And of course, the highlight of the study is the investigation of the structural models of the study to investigate the interrelationships of the variables in a structural manner. All of this in the intention of formulating a theoretical application of the study. This study is a descriptive research and is using the causal comparative research approaches, particularly using the covariance-based structural equation modeling, or the CBSEM. The study was conducted in the two DepEd divisions in Zamboanga del Sur, the Pagadian City Division and the Zamboanga del Sur Division. The respondents were the 664 senior high school students from STEM curriculum from the 18 senior high schools offering STEM in the province. Necessary permits and clearances were taken from university to the superintendent, principal, and the authors of the instruments adapted from the published researches. Using the self-report questionnaires, a cross-sectional data gathering approach was implemented for the three latent constructs along with some necessary personal information. The analysis of the study is composed of several sections: the means and standard deviations to report the descriptive levels of the theoretical constructs of the study. Correlation and regressional analysis was implemented to investigate the relationship and predictive accounts of the variables. And the main analysis of the study, which is the covariance-based structural equation modeling, which is composed of two sections: the examination of measurement model using the maximum likelihood of confirmatory factor analysis, and the structural model evaluation using the goodness of fit indices presented by Engel and Mosberger 2003. Here are the results. The self-regulated learning skills of the STEM learners in Zamboanga del Sur is relatively high. Their grade also is relatively high. However, the consistency of interest of the students is relatively lower compared to their perseverance of effort and ambition. Their expectancy value of STEM also on average is relatively high, with attainment value and utility value at very high level. The overall performance of the students in mathematics also is on very satisfactory level, with the pre-calculus as relatively lower compared to the general mathematics and probability and statistics. The measurement model is actually the confirmatory factor analysis to analyze the factor structure of the theoretical constructs of the study, at the same time validating the scale instrument. Several factor analyses were done for each construct to obtain the acceptability level of factor loadings, average variance extracted, composite reliability, Cronbach's alpha coefficient. The final factor analysis of the self-regulated learning skills has 17 items, which reported a 0.39 only for average variance extracted on performance control, but according to Fortner and Larker, if the composite reliability is above 0.6, the convergent validity of the construct is still adequate. 11 items were retained on the final factor analysis of the grid, showing an adequate measures and coefficients for reliabilities and convergent validities. The reliabilities and the convergent validity of the expectancy value towards time has been established on the final 17 items. This summary illustrates that the factor structure using the scale instrument measures accurately the theoretical constructs of the study. After establishing the reliabilities and convergent validities of the theoretical constructs of the study using the measurement model evaluation, the examination of the structural models has been done. Hypothesized structural model 1 is the estimation of mathematics performance, the use of expectancy value towards STEM, self-regulated learning skills, and grit. This model illustrates that EV, GR, and SRL concurrently affect mathematics performance. Model 2 is the estimation of MP with EV and SRL as antecedent variables without the estimation of the grit. Model 3 is the estimation of MP with antecedents SRL and GR without the estimation of the expectancy value towards STEM. And Model 4 is the estimation of MP with antecedent variables EV and GR without the estimation of the self-regulated learning skills. After the evaluation of the 4 models, the risk specification of the base model has been done to explore on the best fit model. Items with below 0.5 factor loadings were deleted from the base model. And according to the modification indices, there must be a direct effect from the intrinsic value towards fourth phase and from fourth phase towards the pre-calculus. Here is now the structural model 5, the respecified SRL EV GR MP model. After the respecification of the base model, the absolute fit indices were obtained. All absolute indices and alternative fit goodness of fit were all at good fit. Models 2, 3, and 4 obtained a good fit on NFI, CFI, GFI, and TLI, but the respecified model obtained good fit indices throughout fit measures. The best fit model illustrates that expectancy value towards time has 24% causal effects to mathematics performance, and grit also has 20% causal effects to mathematics performance. Although SRL do not have a significant causal effects to mathematics performance, the covariances illustrates that the SRL has 57% covariance with grit and 41% covariance with EV. This means that when the self-regulated learning skills is at optimum, the expectancy value and the grit also increases, which consequently increases the mathematics performance. The regression model illustrates that the mathematics performance is equal to 2.88 expectancy value plus 0.19 of SRL plus 2.72 of grit plus constant of 13.11. With the hypothetical Likert scale of 0.3 to EV, SRL, and GR, the causal effects to mathematics performance is 30.48. And there will be 5.79 increase in the mathematics performance for every point of increase for the 3 variables. So the STEM learners have adequate performance in mathematics courses with a slightly lower results on pre-calculus. However, as the future STEM professionals, the STEM learners must look forward to an outstanding performance. There is also an evidence of self-control and self-monitoring based from the self-regulated learning skills. However, the learners have to improve more on the self-evaluation phase. Teachers, principals, and stakeholders need to strategize programs and activities that are purposeful and engaging by design, which fosters self-regulated learning activities. The STEM learners also maintain their interest and efforts despite challenges and adversities based from the results of the grit. However, the consistency of interest of the STEM learners has to be taken into consideration. The STEM learners are also very aware of the importance of usefulness of doing well. They recognize the importance of the current skills and capabilities. They evaluate their likelihood of success in performing tasks. They also perceive the significance of the intrinsic value as well as the efforts necessary to put into to complete a task. This study theorizes that the mathematics performance of the senior high school learners of STEM curriculum is significantly attributable to the students' high self-regulation in doing a task, high grittiness, as well as in their expectancy value of STEM. When students have high lifelong perseverance, expectancies, and values of STEM, they tend to achieve high self-regulation in doing and completing STEM-related tasks, which consequently increase their mathematics performance. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having me.